So yes, I can go to any viewpoint here. I'll just go back to my instructor mode. So we can go full day and night cycle. And you see we have the lights tied up so that they actually turn on the appropriate times of day. And that's just something we implemented in our flow graph system. And we also tied it in that the civilians go home basically after a certain time. And if we go back to daytime, they'll come back out again.
Can you show the flare again and the night?
Yeah, I can show for, and this is, you can see the one vehicle I was driving. It's actually a bit hotter. But floor stays relatively the same over the day. We haven't done any big changes to terrain yet.
And night vision? Night vision? Awesome.
Yeah, actually look at the lights. This is our night vision going from a night to day cycle. And you can see our night vision's adaptive. When I look in a brighter area, I go into interior, it lights up. But then adjusts when I go outside. The fully modeled vehicle with an interior.
That's awesome.
I can drop both civilians. I can also drop op forces, and I'll go ahead and do that now. We'll just go ahead and start doing our after action review. So I'll drop a couple of Taliban in here. And now I have it set that when I join, it's going to automatically start our after action review. So it's going to start recording everything that's happening in this scenario. Luckily, I already know where our bad guys are, so I'm going to head straight to them. Begin my engagement. Throw a couple of grenades out to show you some explosion effects. And you can see the environment reacts realistically to our explosions. All right, so I'm going to escape out. I'm going to return to my after action review screen. So this is the session we just recorded. If I jump to my tethered view mode, you see this is where I started off at. And I can start playing. I can change play speed, make it go faster, stop. I can actually get a list of events that happen. Right here we just happen to have our fire and kill events, but to show you the timeline, I can jump ahead to events. This was when I started firing, and I engaged there, and when I did my grenade throws. So I have this view here. I can go into a first-person view. And this I can do for anybody who joined in the scenario. It just shows operator 01 because that's me, but if there were more people in the scenario, you would see a drop-down that would list everybody who had been engaged at that time. But I can also jump out to kind of a third-person fly-around mode. I can add cameras, so say, call this camera 1. I can start playing and I can jump to those camera viewpoints at any time. Jump ahead a little. I can also add in comments. So let's say at this point, I can add in a comment, I can start recording, and you'll see it come up. And actually, we have a dynamic that if the longer I make the comment, the longer it'll stay up on the screen. So just to also show, there's a within our after action review, we have a lot of things to keep track of where the users are looking at. We can actually see where people have been. These are, we call them snail trails. They just follow along where the people and the NPCs went. I can go ahead and see fire lines. I'll jump back to this engagement here. But you can see where we're actually firing at, where he's looking at. That is kind of tactical mode that gets rid of all the color, but just shows blue for what we call the blue forces, reds for the opposite forces, and green is our neutrals. See, we have civilians as green, neutrals. Jump ahead to my here. We also have a feature where I can start recording all this and actually spit it out to video. So I'm going to go in here, start recording. I'll jump ahead.
What's the resolution of the video output?
The video output can be pretty much whatever you were displaying here. So we have a draw tool. I can draw here. I can do a little Madden tool. I can put icons on the screen. And this is a way we could kind of have an instructor come and direct people. This also is getting broadcast over the network, so everybody can watch the after action review. It's not just on one machine. And in fact, people in different machines can take on different perspectives. Like I said, you can take on the first person view of anybody who's in the scenario. So I'm going to close that real quick just to show. We have our first take up here. So this is just straight to video, just from our recorded there. If you start and stop recording, it makes multiple takes that you can let her stitch together if you want to. And you can see everything you saw there, like the comments come out. You see, we can still see our drawing tool show up inside the video. And so mainly the point of this was after action to kind of do teaching to remediate people in the scenarios. But we kind of added on the filming aspect just kind of as an afterthought, but it kind of ended up being a helpful feature just in itself. Even easy to make videos and stuff just because you have a lot of application and machinima and areas like that. I'm going to do another example real quick. See where I'm standing at because I don't want to drop the striker on my head.
Tell me to do that time of day slider again.
So let's say I want to do a little quick film of me driving the striker around. So I'm going to jump in. And I'm just going to drive down the streets, exit out, go back to our after action. And the neat thing I can do is I can tie my recording to the play button with this linkage here. I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit to where I'm actually going in. So I hit play, It'll start recording right there. I'm going to change camera positions real quick. Pause, change camera again. Play. Get a new camera angle. I'll do my final zoom out. And now, this has been stitched into one continuous movie. So I did all this in just kind of one take. Doesn't require any external, producer or anything to actually put this together. Yes, like I said, this is originally had a just training purpose, but it kind of ended up having now kind of also a video editing feature, which is kind of was secondary, but kind of just evolved out of the needs of the program.
That's going to show the day to night stuff.
Anybody have any questions?
Can we see the day to night stuff again?
Sure.